Hey everyone, Andrew back again and welcome to another video, and today I'm here to do a quick review for Deathgasm. So back at it with my October Horathon. Now this is a movie that I have seen before. I was just in the mood to watch something that I know that I would have enjoyed since I've had a few disappointing first time watches so far this month. So Deathgasm I've seen before, and this is probably a film that a large majority of you have seen already, you're pretty familiar with. It's a couple of years old now, and it was certainly getting a lot of attention and buzz when it first got released. So I hadn't seen it for a while and I was just in the mood to revisit it, so wanted to chuck up a quick review of it. So Deathgasm, if you guys are unfamiliar with this film, it centres around a teenager called Brody. He ends up moving in with his uncle, aunt and cousin in a very, very small, pretty conservative New Zealand town. This is a New Zealand film, by the way, and he doesn't get along with them whatsoever. He's a metalhead and they're a very, very religious, conservative family, so he doesn't get on with them. He ends up being friends with a couple of other high school outcasts, Giles and Dion, and along with a fellow metalhead that he meets at a record store called Zach. The four of them form a band. Zach and Brody one day end up coming across some mysterious sheet music and decide that they want to play the music and have it as their main song for their band, which is called Deathgasm. And when they start playing the music, strange things start happening, and residents in the town essentially turn into demons. So that's the basic rundown of the plot, but as I said, most of you probably know that already and have seen this movie. So my thoughts on this film, I absolutely love this movie. I've always been a massive fan of it since the first time I watched it, and rewatching it again, nothing's changed. I think it's an absolutely awesome film. New Zealand know how to do horror comedies, and it's certainly a genre that I'm very, very picky with. There's a lot of horror comedies that I am not really a massive fan of. Return of the Living Dead. But New Zealand seem to nail this genre every time. It's been done since Peter Jackson's Bad Taste, and it hasn't changed from way back then until now. And Deathgasm is another prime example of why New Zealand are definitely the best when it comes to the horror comedy genre. So this movie blends in horror, splatter, over-the-top gore and comedy absolutely perfectly. I think all the characters are fantastic. They're a lot of fun. There's really, really good character development, and everyone plays their roles pretty much flawlessly, in my opinion. The heavy metal backdrop is absolutely awesome, and of course, since I am a massive fan of metal, that's definitely going to appeal to me. And I feel that they use it really, really well. It's not overdone, it's not corny or anything. It works really, really well, and there's an absolutely fantastic metal-themed soundtrack throughout this movie as well. So the soundtrack's great, and just the whole plot and story with the heavy metal side of things is executed really, really well. Now moving on to the gore effects, they are just absolutely phenomenal. Definitely some of the most outrageous, over-the-top splatter gore effects that I have seen from any modern film that I can really think of. Top-notch effects in this. The demons look absolutely phenomenal. Nice little nods to Evil Dead during those sequences, which is great. And this is really just a nod to a lot of horror movies in general, and it's done really, really well without being too in your face. It's done pretty subtly. Prime example of that is one scene where Giles is wearing a Bad Taste t-shirt. There's just a lot of great nods to old school horror movies in this, and overall I think this is a perfectly done movie. I really can't find fault throughout this movie whatsoever, and I just absolutely love it. So If you've never seen this movie and you're a fan of heavy metal or really well done horror comedy with good gore and splatter effects, this one is definitely a must, and I highly recommend Deathgasm. Alright, so there you go, that was my quick review of Deathgasm. If you've seen this movie, definitely let me know your thoughts on it in the comments section below. And if you haven't and you're a fan of heavy metal, really well done horror comedy movies, go out and check it out ASAP, because it is amazing. Anyway, that does it for my review. I hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.